Why do acids make milk curdle? So milk is made of protein suspended in a solution. Basically, it's watery stuff and then protein. And these proteins are all folded up in such a way that they don't really interact with each other. They just slide over each other, and that way you have smooth pouring milk. When you lower the pH of milk, then it makes these proteins unfold, which allows them to react with each other. This causes the proteins to clump together, and that's what we call curdling. Now, believe it or not, it's not the curdling process that makes milk taste bad or sour. That's literally just the acid in the milk. When milk spoils, bacteria have been feeding on it, and they produce acid as a byproduct, and it does not taste good. Similarly, when you carbonate milk, you are creating carbonic acid, which doesn't taste super good with the creaminess of milk. But you can get these proteins to interact essentially manually. That's what happens when you create whipped cream and eventually butter. Instead of chemically curdling the milk, you are physically curdling the milk. You are smashing the proteins together until they interact and clump together. And we all love a good butter. Too much. Funny thing, this is why they say that you can essentially replace buttermilk in a recipe with semi-curdled milk with lemon in it or something like that. Standard buttermilk is just what's left over after you make butter. It has some of those clumped up proteins in it, right? Adding, say, lemon juice to milk will make that happen a little bit without ruining the flavor too much if you're, like, say, using it in a baking recipe. And a lot of the buttermilk that you buy in stores these days is cultured buttermilk. It basically uses the same process that you use to make yogurt, but to create something that is more similar to buttermilk. So none of the buttermilk that we actually buy and use is usually buttermilk as it was originally made. But as long as you have milk with some of the proteins bunched up, it will do the job of buttermilk. Just make sure that whatever process you're using to make it doesn't make it taste bad in the process.